Oh, you took that part out.
Yes, I did.
Fantastic.
You told me to.
Oh, fantastic.
I figured
Welcome
Cody
to the show, everybody. My name is Brian. With me always is...
I'm Mark.
Oh, thank God you know your name tonight. Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, I had to fix the Facebook shit first. So
I was going to ask you if you were having a stroke or a seizure because, my God, dude, you took forever to load us on. Are you okay?
Well, I'm doing it one-handed, you dumbass.
Everybody, Mark had surgery this week, and it turned out great. He got an addictomy, and so he's going to be good from now on.
Yeah, it's longer. Woohoo! Oh.
Your elbow's longer? Great.
Yeah. Sounds good. Oh, wow.
All right, Mark, who we got tonight? What are we talking about?
Yeah, fuck you. I'm not saying their
Your
name.
elbow's longer? Oh, I got this. Okay. Tonight, we are featuring another podcast, and these guys are the Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast. And you have Glick and you have Jeff from that show. You want to bring these guys onto the screen, or can you do that with one hand? I mean, what...
You know, I'm glad we're not the ones that are always bickering behind the scenes. It's them too.
No, so I told you I was watching their show. I said they're a lot like us.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Listen, if we're not having fun doing this show, then it's not gonna be fun for anybody that watches. So,
like I said, Steven is already on.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Here we go.
He's like a weird stalker, man. He's like that girl that won't leave you alone once you talk to her one time. He's just always there.
Isn't that how we met?
Yeah, it's actually Jeff was the same way, actually.
Guys, welcome to Talking Shit, our little platform here. We're working on trying to get our following up, and you guys are going to help with that, and we're going to help with yours, hopefully. Mom and Dad are watching on our side, so we're good.
My mom, his dad.
That's right. So let's talk about this. First of all, like you were saying,
the first question. We always have the first question. What is it?
Oh, how are you boys doing?
What?
How are you boys doing?
I'm always good.
Mentally and physically, you're good.
Mentally,
well, hold on, wait. Mentally, maybe not, but
I'm unstable like most days.
Excellent, excellent.
Chris has got his beer. He'll be all right.
I'm good. I got my medicine.
Give him four more minutes. He'll be his fifth beer.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody, as we say.
Cheers.
Cheers.
How did you guys meet? How did the Nonsensical Nonsense podcast come together?
Jeff and I have actually been. Yeah, we actually met in high school. We were about 15. He started following me around school like a lost little puppy dog. He smiled.
Oh my God! I'm so glad I fucking came to the line.
I was kind of a cool guy in school, I jock. I had lots of friends and stuff like that. And then there was that guy, so I felt bad for him. I felt like I was doing a charitable thing. And no, actually, we did meet in high school. We went to a trade school, and we both took building trades. And we were both from different high schools, and we just met through class. And how we struck up a friendship, I have no idea, because we could not be any more polar opposites. But we've been best friends ever since.
I think what really drew us together is everybody in that class, and we're still friends with most people in the class, is we all had the same sense of humor. But Chris and I can take that sense of humor way over the line.
Habitual line crossers.
Yeah. We invented the crossing of the line. And the one thing that Chris and I had the most in common, our teacher trusted us about as far as he could throw us.
Was this shop class, and did he have like 4 fingers on one hand? I mean, what?
No, this was actually it was like a vocational school, so we were actually taking building trades. Our senior year of high school,
right.
So that when we graduated, we could go into the construction field with a leg up on a lot of people. But no, and we stayed friends.
What's funny is our teacher did have a fucked up hand.
He did have a nub.
His fingers.
Fingers
were literally like this. They were stuck like this. He could move these 2 fingers but the middle two he couldn't move because one of the guys in our class, Chris, do you remember Casey? He was all like, "What's up?" and all that stuff. And our teacher went up to him day one. He's like, "I can do that too."
But permanently. So
yeah, it was the funniest thing we've ever seen because the dude that said it, he just was like, "I got nothing."
I have nowhere to go. No, but our first
sucks when you run out of comical material, though, right? Like, we go
Who,
the
us?
rest of the day. Like,
That's
no, I'm just saying the guy in the class.
Well,
The guy in the class.
he was about as far from funny as we are from being serious. But the one thing that Chris and I quickly realized about each other, we do not run out of comedy. We've literally had conversations on the phone just with each other for 3-4 hours. Like we're teenage girls at 40.
Which one of you guys is curling your hair? I think it's Glick over there with the beard. He's like,
well,
he's
between the beard and it's definitely.
Hello, ladies.
I braid both. We'll be talking on the phone, and I'm braiding my beard and my hair at the same time. With my feet propped up on the wall, listening to, like Taylor Swift or something.
Right on.
No, but we stayed friends all these time, and then a couple years ago we reconnected after not talking to each other for a while, and we were talking on the phone. I'm like, dude, I want to start a podcast. I'm sick of talking to you on the phone. Let's just do a podcast. And he was like, all right, I'm in. And like most things, we just
slogan. That's been our slogan since we met. Was if one of them said I got an idea, the other was like, I'm in.
Don't even have to hear the idea.
It. Yeah, I fucking love it, dude. That was fantastic. Listen, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I throw stuff at Mark all the time, and I'm like, hey, you want to reach out to these people? Like, you want to talk to these people? You want to have these people on the show? And Mark will go on, and he'll be like, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is happening.
We don't even get to that part. We're just like, I got an idea. I'm in.
Here's my thing with it too, guys, and I don't know how y'all feel about it as far as being a show. I don't want to turn it into an interview, but I feel sometimes like we do. I feel like I ask a bunch of questions, but I'm here to ask you guys, like, what do you want to talk about? Like,
well, we
do
the same. We do. So we've had a few interviews. We want to get into the interview game, but we've just kind of dipped our toes into it. We've had some great guests, and they've been a lot of fun. But like I told Jeff from Jump Street, I said I don't want to be that boring. Oh, so why did you decide to get into football? Did you think you were going to play in the NFL? Like, how was we want obviously we have questions, but at the same time, when we bring somebody on the show as a guest or whatever, it's like, let's make them feel like they're at home.
Part of the show.
We're going to have fun. We're going to still do our show, but they're going to be a part of the show, and we're still going to drop our questions. And it's worked out fantastic for us. I mean, we've had ex-NFL players and musicians and stuff like that. I actually have a buddy of mine who's in radio himself, and he's actually on a major market down in Florida, down in Tampa. He's on the phone down there. 1025 The Bone, Dizzy.
Okay.
Yeah, he came on the show, and I thought we were going to do a show of just fart jokes and dick jokes for 3 hours. Well, it got super serious and got super heavy, and we started talking about and he opened up and completely took me by surprise, and it wound up, he was kind of sharing his story, and we were talking a lot about men's mental health and stuff like that, and it was like, holy shit. And then even he, after the show, he was like, hey man, thanks for making me feel so comfortable. I was like, just my natural personality, man. I didn't even mean for the conversation to go there, because he shared things on our show that he hasn't even shared. Well, at that point, he hadn't even shared on air on the multiple shows that he's on the Bone. And it's just like, wow. I mean, that's a huge honor and a privilege, thank you. But I didn't plan on it to go that way. It just kind of happened.
Well, sometimes the easiest ones are the ones that just they talk and you barely have to say anything. They just
believe it or not. My favorite interview we had was with Chris Cluey. Like, he and I did not agree with a few things, but Chris did, and I hate to give him credit because it gives him a big head, and I'll hear about it for the next year and a half. However, Chris did one of the most amazing things. He dropped a fucking grenade and then walked away, knowing that it's going to trigger me, and knowing that Chris Cluey was on the other side of it. But the beauty of what Chris Cluey and I did, is instead of arguing, we had a conversation. And then once we realized we're never going to agree, we left it at that. But yeah, that stands out as one of my favorite interviews.
Well, not to mention the fact that Cluey came in swinging for the fences right at you. So
yes, he
What?
did. Yes, he did. Oh, it was. Chris Cluey he's an activist of
hold on, guys.
LGBT.
I need
Yeah, go ahead.
I need to put this out there because Steven's wife's made a comment.
Hey, you know, I guarantee it. We were that bad, like to the point where my wife was yelling at me. She's like, "Are you still on the fucking phone?" I'm like, "Bitch, you're always."
Fortunately, I was either single or my significant other lived 8 hours away.
Look, Mark's
in between. You know, some people
Mark's the
go to
one that I
movies
don't
now.
tell everybody about.
Beyonce's.
Bitch, the first time we ever met, you know, that's stuck in my brain forever. So,
All right, so I'm going to tell the story real quick.
yeah,
So-
why not?
So
I think we
guys,
tell the
met
story
in-
almost
we
every
met in,
time.
we met in school, just like you
Seventh
guys
grade.
did. Only it was middle school, 7th grade. I was 7'3" and Mark was 2'5".
I was
And,
not. I was 3
That's
foot.
like
something.
us.
I mean,
That's
are you
us.
guys the multiverse nonsensical
Yeah.
nonsense? Is that
It must be. It must be. So this is the talking
I'm
shit show, guys. I'm
5'3".
not sure.
I'm 5'3", and Chris is 6'14", and 5,000 pounds. I'm like,
Whoa.
my
whoa.
head-
Hey, I'm a solid 300. All right.
listen, fatty.
Listen, I've
But-
put on some weight. I've put on significant weight. I
Well,
learned it from watching Mark.
The one
I
thing
love
I've always
weight.
admired about Chris is no matter how big he was, he wears it well. Like if I gain 5 pounds, I look like a giant fat ass. If
God,
I
that's
lose
me.
5
I look
pounds,
like a
I look
giant
like a
fat ass.
skeleton. But Chris has always wore his weight well, and it's mildly makes me jealous. Like I have, he makes fun of me all the time for my pregnant belly because all my weight goes in my belly, and if I stand up, I look pregnant, and everybody makes fun of me. But
That's
Just
about
don't
right.
wear half shirts, and you're good.
unfortunately, that's
telling
all I
you.
wear. That's my wardrobe.
That's why he hasn't stood up.
He's over here. He's like, oh my god, I got this shirt in my size. It's 4T.
yeah. He shops at the
I
time.
wear I wear a child's large.
For Christmas, I sent him a gift card to Oshkosh Bagosh to get him some new clothes.
Yes.
Facts.
Damn, I should have thought about that. I should have got Mark one of those.
Yeah.
I sent him a
no.
sent him a Build-A-Bear certificate. So he can...
We love Build-A-Bear. I'm
That
stealing
will
one
not
when
fit
Chris
over my
dies.
stomach.
When Chris dies, I'm stealing one of the machines from Build-A-Bear.
Okay. I want Brian to see your championship belt.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is
Jesus
this
Christ.
the paperweight title belt?
First and foremost, Jarvis, I don't see you knocking. The title's on the line, and I put the challenge out there for you, Sunshine.
What's the challenge?
Yeah,
I'm
drop
gonna
your
whip
light.
Ryan's ass in a steel cage, or Steven's
Oh,
ass.
Jarvis's?
Yeah, Jarvis. So I had this made. It's I had it made at Trophy Smack. So this is a full size belt. It's 8 fucking belts.
Yeah.
So I had it made because we used to do a thing on the show called the Starting Five, and basically every week we had a different category, and we picked 5. We had a list of 5, and we did it like an NFL draft. And after we would draft, we would throw it up on our social media and let our followers vote on who had the best list. Well, I won 27 times in a row.
But
So I said
wait a minute, Joe Biden. Wait a minute, Joe Biden. Who was counting the votes?
All of us were. Yeah, I counted the votes. They were on our podcast social media. Meanwhile,
I'd watch that
other
fight.
people were putting it on their personal social medias and
Not
still
me.
didn't get more votes than me. Yes, Jarvis is going to get a beat down courtesy of Glick and a ring.
Well, here's my question though: were you allowed to vote for yourself?
So originally, no.
Right.
And then about midway, and I never voted for myself. I always voted for the, like, 1 week I would vote for Jeff. The next
I'd always
week
vote for whoever I thought was
or
had a
whatever,
better list.
whichever one. But then they started making a stink about the votes. And I said, you know what? Put it on your social media. You can vote for your fucking selves. Even when I tried to sway the votes and tell everybody to vote for those two, I still
there are some asterisks out there. There are some wins out there with asterisks.
Yeah, there's one round that was an asterisk because the guy literally went behind our backs and he had like 4 TikTok accounts and posted it, and then like all these people wouldn't even look at the list. They would just vote for him.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then he wanted to brag about it. And I was like, all right, whatever, you're an asterisk champion. And then he had like one of his things, I think we were doing music or something like that. And it was a song nobody had ever even heard of, was in his top 5.
And he still won.
Yeah.
Well, we did a one-liner that turned into a novel.
Movie one-liners, and he did the whole monologue from freaking
did a monologue.
Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah, and we were like, what the fuck? Like, and I'm having to put this on a spreadsheet so we can turn it into a photo. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to have the speech from, I literally put the speech from Last Mohicans because I couldn't fit the whole thing in.
I'm going to tell you, I think I'd win.
I don't know, man.
We've had some really good ones.
I'm basically tied with the New York Yankees.
I don't study for test. I just
go
in there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We actually have one going now that we've picked 10, and it's a little bit morbid, we will admit, but we're fighting for the Angel of Death for 2025
And that'll be a new belt.
So the Angel of Death, as far as the person who's killed.
We've each drafted 10 celebrities that we think will die in 2024. Whoever wins, gets to be the Angel of Death, because you can put your moniker at the bottom, and then of course we're all going to chip in on a belt. Whoever wins, the belt gets shipped to them.
So I'll add a belt to my collection. I'll go from 3 to 4. I've also got a replica Smoking Skull championship belt. That
you're not sending that same belt around though, and putting new plates.
Well, that's what we're gonna do.
So like this year, for like this year, the winner will get the belt. We'll once we are pretty confident who's going to win, we'll go ahead and get the money together and order the belt and have it shipped to the winner. And then next year, if like say I win, if I don't win next year, then we'll all split the cost of shipping and have it shipped to whoever wins. Because there's just 3 of us that are the 3 main members of the show that are partaking in it. So like I said, I'll add a 4th belt to my collection. So
well, wait a minute, we're missing a member of your show. Who is that?
Well, Connor is Connor's the newest member, but he's kind of part-time right now. He's been on and off since fairly the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
But he just recently he was in the military, and he busted up his back pretty bad and had a surgery go bad. So he's on permanent disability and everything like that. So they're working on getting moved in and getting all situated and everything like that. Right now he's typically on Saturday nights.
Okay.
He did pop up Monday night for a little while, but Monday night was kind of a rare, serious show. We had a friend of mine who's been going through a lot. The last 10 years that I've known him, he's conquered drug addiction, he's conquered alcoholism, and he's lost a ton of weight. Now he's focused on getting his mind right and dealing with the mental aspect.
That's why you did the mental health.
Yeah, so he wanted to come on and just put his story out there about growing up in his life, and I said, come on up, man. I would love to do it, and we did. The genius of our show, like I said, we're ever evolving, always changing. From now on, Mondays, because I do Mondays on my own. It's like I've been looking for something to do with it. Now Mondays is going to be a focus on men's mental health. I have a new co-host joining me. He's a guy who's been on our show several times, friend of the show. And it's going to be seriousness mixed with some laughter, because you can't be serious all the time about mental health. You got to be able to joke and laugh about certain aspects. But I learned Monday night through him being on the show and being there that he's been through a lot of stuff, and him and I have a similar upbringing and stuff like that. Whereas I was more of the violent type growing up, he was more of the little Zen, little Filipino Zen master, So like, the yin and the yang. So and he's super smart. So we're going to be doing that on Mondays moving forward, and then Wednesdays and Saturdays are just the craziness that people have got to know us from.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like the genius of our show. We don't plan anything. Like I'll find something.
Some kind of planning. You made it here tonight.
Bitch, we didn't. You ask me every week. Do you have questions for these guys, for our guests? And you know what? I tell him no.
Never has any fucking.
I will tell him no every damn time. And the easiest one that we have done, the easiest, I think, two that we have done was our military show, and Rob Mello. Those were the two easiest out of all of them, because we didn't have to ask questions. The military show, they just took over, and Brian was one of the guests on the show because I wanted him to be part of it. Next time he won't be.
I enjoyed it though. I like being a guest on the show.
You don't have to. You don't have to be the guest. You could still be the co-host and still be doing this. But we found out during that a few of the people that were on that show loved it because of the fact that they got to talk about the military. They got to talk about some of the fun stuff. They talked about some of the bad stuff, but it was therapeutic for them.
Yeah. It really was. I mean, at the end of the day, it was very therapeutic. So where you had the men's, where you're going to do the men's mental health day, invite the military guys, man. Those guys, a lot of these guys getting out, a lot of these guys that are old heads and stuff like that, man. There's a lot of mental stuff going on there, and not everybody knows the story. Everybody's like, "Oh, thanks for your service."
But once you get them on a show and them talking with one another, man, something in them changes where they're like, "Oh, wow." We had this one guy from what was it, the Air Force? He was just all over the place.
Well, because he was at work and he was doing the show.
Yeah, he was late for work. He was driving while he's doing the show, and we're like, just call us when you get to your work. And then he's talking, and we're all sitting there laughing our ass off just listening to him. But
yeah, he was actually going to work that day, so he's around like his staff sergeants and stuff like that. And I was just like, "Oh, you're gonna get in trouble, dude. Put your phone away." Wouldn't do it. He was like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm doing the show." I was like, "Okay."
We had to mute him a few times because some of the stuff he was saying was like, wow. He was saying it to people at his job. I don't know what it was.
Wow. Yeah. When you guys first came up with the concept of the show, was it in fact to do just absolute nonsense? Just what you say?
Well, for me, I had an opportunity in radio. I've always loved radio, and I've always loved talk radio, and I had an opportunity.
Have a face for it.
Thank you. My mom says the same thing. And I had an opportunity, but unfortunately, my ex-wife and family members said that I was foolish and I was stupid, and I had a family to take care of, and I had to be smart. Even though the guys who wanted me to come work on their show, they were making well over six figures a year in the Columbus, Ohio market. Not like New York or anything like that, but Columbus is a big market.
Oh,
so I unfortunately I walked away from it, but it's something that I've always wanted to do. And then you started hearing about podcasts back in the day. It was like, oh man, I could definitely do a podcast. I don't want to do one by myself. That, and then in fact, my ex-wife was just beat me down when I brought it up. She's like,
sorry.
She's like, it was a bad idea when you thought about going into radio. What makes you think it's going to be a good idea for you to do a podcast? So it just went into the back burner. Yeah. Well, when we split up, and unfortunately I had to move back to the shithole called Ohio. I was
Thank you. At least somebody else agrees with me.
I hate this fucking place. I was born and raised here.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Not that good either.
Drive the roads.
Listen. Grove City,
Ohio State is there. That's
Grove
bad
City's
enough.
I'm
about 45 minutes from Grove City. Grove City is not a nice area. We call it Grove Tucky for a reason.
Yeah. That's where everybody lives there, where their mom's their dad and their dad's their brother.
It's our own little
Lord
Alabama.
Jesus.
No, so
sounds like
live there unless you're missing like 4 teeth.
Yeah. When I came back home, I was like, man, I want to do a podcast. And I hit up a couple of my buddies and they're like, oh yeah, I'd love to do it, but man, I'm just so busy. I'm like, what are you busy doing? Going to work and coming home and masturbating? I mean, like, you can still, hell, at the end of the day, you can sit down and you can masturbate on the show. Jeff does. So
I've done it 3 times since we started. I'm just saying.
And that's why I said where Jeff and I reconnected. I was doing like live streams on TikTok, and I was on Periscope when Periscope first started. 10 years ago, I was on Periscope doing the live streams on the weekend. And we started this, but Nonsensical Nonsense was a name that I've always had. Like way back when I was like, I want to do a podcast, it's going to be called Nonsensical Nonsense, because at the end of the day, you already
had the name.
Yeah, at the end of the day, no politics, no religion, like you guys said. You guys have the same rule we have. And there's so much crazy bullshit going on in the world, whether our show's an hour long or 2 hours or 3 hours, or we do the Saturday night 6-hour show. I want to give somebody an escape from fucking reality, because you can't flip on the television or get online or anything else without seeing
see something bad. Just fucking terrible shit.
So why not let Jeff and I, or our merry band of idiots, because we've collected quite the collection of idiots over the last couple of years that like to come and hang out with us on the show. Try to be mildly entertaining for a few hours and give you an escape and, just have fun, because I feel like, people have forgotten how to have fun.
That is true. We are the tip of crazy.
Alyssa loves you guys, evidently, because she is.
Well, the beauty of our show is what I knew we were going to be happy with our show when my mother said she will no longer listen. She listened to the first 2 episodes and she said, yeah, I can't listen. You guys are going to hell. And I was like, we're in. We're solid. We're good.
She messaged me.
Perfect format.
She said she messaged me on Facebook and she said, I love you too. You two are great. I love you too, but I can't listen to your show. You guys need Jesus.
Oh my!
My mom still has not watched the show, and we've
my
parents
here. My parents used to watch the show. They were actually regulars quite a bit, but last year we had a huge falling out, and we haven't spoken since. So I don't know if they watch the replays or if they creep on us and watch us live. Hell, they might be some of our lurkers for all I know.
We have
they're not in the chatters box anymore, so I couldn't tell you if they watch or not.
I get so I ask my wife and the kid to watch, every once in a while. I'm like, hey, gonna be a great show tonight, you guys should watch. Mm-hmm. And the only thing my wife says to me is, stop fucking interviewing people. Stop fucking doing that. And I feel bad.
Watching.
She's probably still watching. He's probably
my wife hasn't watched the show yet neither. She says when you get when you're featuring somebody good on there, I'll watch.
Next week we're doing the Magic Mike show.
I mean, you've got the best of the best. Where's she at tonight?
See? Tell her.
You've reached the top of the mountain. You're not going to get any better
further than this.
Yeah, she's in class right now.
Chris has already said he will beat up Joe Rogan, which I'm going to set that fight up.
Okay, first and foremost, I never said that I could beat up Joe Rogan. I said I could out podcast Joe Rogan. I said I could out podcast Joe Rogan any day of the week. Because let's be honest, the guy had Bobby Lee on just not too long ago to promote Bobby Lee's movie and went on a 30-minute tirade about COVID and masks and everything else. And Bobby Lee had to go, can we please just talk about my movie?
Yeah.
I'm just,
let the fucking guest talk, dude.
Yeah. I could absolutely out podcast Joe Rogan. Could I whoop Joe Rogan's ass in a fight? Hell no. Have you seen that guy train?
Oh my God.
Let's I want to watch the fight. So
I mean, now if he lets me
just be like, yeah, I can do that.
Chris has a list of all the things and animals and states that he wants to fight. And when I make my millions, I'm going to build an arena and set up these fights. And that, so Chris gets paid for it and everything. But I will make billions on all these people watching Chris get his ass kicked.
Well, Jeff,
What's
here's
a
the thing
kangaroo,
about that, you can't send in the lion first. You can't.
Oh no, I'm sending in the kangaroo first because he's said since day one I could whoop a kangaroo, and I swear to God, I've seen kangaroos fight. They will kill him.
I can take a kangaroo. I can take a black bear.
Have you seen a kangaroo on their size?
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
Man, they're muscular.
That's okay.
They're insane.
All right, here's the thing. So prior military, traveled the country, traveled the world. I will tell you this. The people in Australia are afraid to come over to the U.S. because we have things bigger in life that will kill them. They're not afraid of kangaroos. They're not afraid of fucking koalas. Koalas are fucking nasty.
They're fucking evil.
They got the spiders that come out of the sky.
They masturbate all over you.
Yeah.
They got what?
Well, they got spiders that come out of the sky.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
but
out.
they don't bite you and then fucking explode your entire insides from the inside out like we do.
Well, as Crocodile Dundee once said, a funnel web spider can kill a man in 8 seconds just by looking at him. That keeps my ass out of Australia right there.
Brian wants me to go down to the Everglades and go python hunting.
We're gonna go snake.
This motherfucker will go with you.
Oh yeah, let's go.
See, dummy here's like, oh, we go. But I challenged him yesterday. He won't go to the top of the Eiffel Tower because he's a giant.
My fiance and I are going to. We're going to get married down in New Orleans. We're going down there. We're going to get married. And I said one of my goals while we're down there, because I lived in Charleston, South Carolina for about 10 years, and we had alligators. And everybody's like, "Oh, alligators are so vicious," and they're really not. They're actually pretty timid, docile creatures, unless it's mating season. Right. If it's mating season, I mean, you guys are down in Florida, then they get a little bit more aggressive. Yep. I said, but my ultimate goal while we're in New Orleans is go to a swamp and boop an alligator on its snoot.
Right. Hey,
and then if he tries to grab me, then I snatch him up out the water and I put him in a glick death roll.
And then I come home. Your girlfriend's gonna weep. That gator bites that finger clean off.
I come home with gator skin boots. Nikki's got a gator skin purse, and I got a freezer full of gator.
Delicious gator.
Yeah,
delicious.
It is delicious.
We have it here all the time. I mean, it is good. So Jeff,
I haven't had it in a while.
Let us know.
But no, I said I would fight a kangaroo. I said I would fight a black bear, just specifically a black bear.
It better be a small one because I'm out.
Well, black bears aren't much bigger than me.
Walk up and punch a baby bear right in the face while the mama bear's watching.
Yeah, I'm not doing that because I don't want mama bear to come at me.
Alyssa has another response. We'd like.
Can I do a demonstration? Tune in tomorrow night when I'm like 14 beers deep, and you might see
we're gonna need more beers than this.
Yeah, you might see the glick.
But
this is the talking shit show.
This is the one time that Chris used the internet for his advantage. Although he says everything on Wikipedia is fake, but he's like, you saw that guy punch that fucking kangaroo in the face. That's one guy, one time. You didn't see the 400 other times that the kangaroo killed somebody. Oh, and he's like, well, that guy, you popped the alligator on the head.
And how many times did he have to do it? Hit the kangaroo for it, not that,
It was one. It was one.
Look, kangaroos didn't even make the list of top 10 deadliest animals in the world.
It did.
I'm not going to say that you can't beat up a kangaroo and take its Joey.
I'm saying it now.
But
I didn't even think about taking the Joey.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Now I got to beat up.
I'm going to buy a Joey, and I'm going to train it with Joe Rogan to fight you. Like, Joe Rogan, train this Joey, not Joey Diaz style, but train him in jiu-jitsu so he can beat Chris.
It's definitely Joey Diaz at this point. It's like, holy fuck, here we go.
No, I fear no kangaroo. However, if I have to beat up a female kangaroo, I'll throw on a wig and a dress and declare myself a female for the time being, to whoop a female kangaroo up.
What's your top 5 that you
My
want?
top 5 what?
Animals that you want to fight.
Kangaroo.
A bunny, a kitten.
I can beat the shit out of a bunny. Don't get me wrong.
Kangaroo, a black bear. I don't know if I want to fight
You're out
a
of your
moose.
fucking mind.
I don't know if I want to fight a moose, but I want to punch a moose right in its stupid Canadian face. Canadian geese. I'll take on an entire flock of Canadian geese. Fuck you, Canada. You know I don't like your ass. And I don't know. Fifth animal. I mean, I don't know what I don't. Now I'm gonna get a reputation of an animal abuser. Oh, you hear Glick likes to beat up on animals,
bro. As soon as we're done here, I'm calling the SPCA.
Yeah, maybe
watch out for this
on the list.
Yeah, maybe I'll go kick some puppies. Yeah, maybe I'll go kick some puppies. Fuck you, Sarah McLachlan.
Hold on, we in my neighborhood we get these pamphlets that say a predator has moved into your neighborhood. Shit. In your neighborhood.
Jeff's neighborhoods get those same pamphlets.
I thought we get pamphlets that says the meth heads live down the road.
Oh no, dude. No, so in Chris's or in Glick's, it's gonna say, "Watch out, hide your animals." Glick lives here.
Yeah.
There's a wild Glick on the loose.
If it looks like looks like a Bigfoot wearing a Michigan hat, then that's Chris. That's it.
If you see a wandering Sasquatch in a bright yellow Michigan hat, take your animals inside ASAP. Your kids are safe.
My goodness. So here's a question for you. And once again, we don't talk about questions. We don't do that shit. But
Alyssa who told says you not the bunny?
I'll whoop a bunny's ass all day.
Who said it was okay to wear a Michigan hat on the show?
Fuck you. I did.
This poor bastard's been wearing Steelers for like a week and a half.
Much like myself, they're champions. So real recognizes real, champions recognize champions. So I mean, I understand. Who's your college team?
Florida.
Oh yeah,
I'm a Gators fan. Listen,
you let your kids wear you let your kids wear something that says Ohio on it?
It's just like it's like what is that?
Okay.
It's like one of those weird tourist Ohio shirts.
Oh, okay. I thought it said Ohio State underneath it.
Oh, no. Ohio, living in paradise.
Yeah,
I made that shirt.
I didn't know there was a place called Paradise, Ohio.
The Undertaker had a match. Who would win it?
Who?
Road Dogg and the Undertaker.
Undertaker would win.
Why did you take this off your wall?
Oh, because they wanted to say it.
I'm not 50 stones.
Nice.
That's the other beauty of our shows. Kids constantly just enter the room.
We've often
I just had one of those a few minutes ago. I was like, what the fuck are you looking for?
We've often teased doing a Nonsensical Nonsense Junior because my boy is 10. Jeff's got a boy who is
11,
9, 10, 11, something
Actually,
like that.
No, he's 12. Oh my God. He's 12.
And one of our former co-hosts, he had a son that was around the same age. And we was like, it'd be fun if like one night before we did our show, we just let the three boys do like a half-hour show with each other.
Yeah.
And they'll probably talk about Fortnite or Roblox or whatever.
Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't play Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty.
I play Call of Duty.
Yeah, I play Call of Duty.
He does. We gotta get Glick with us, Mark.
He probably plays it on the computer or either that or on PlayStation.
Doesn't matter.
Nope, I play it on the Xbox. X gonna give it to you.
I am the PlayStation guy. I will never give it up.
Do you play Call of Duty?
Me? No.
No,
because I played the real thing.
Hey, Kyle.
What up, Cleats?
When I was in the military, I played the real game, so I don't need to play it again. It's a little PTSD for me.
I'm from the mean streets of Ohio. I played the real game too. I was a gangster out there.
We'll have to get you on because
cornfields.
We keep getting Steven on our party, but he doesn't want to pay to play Call of Duty. And I was like, just fucking buy the game, you cheap ass.
I don't play games that often. I used to play a while back. Like when we first started, I was real big
into. I get 2 days a week. That's what my wife allows me. She's like, "Here you go, just play."
See, I'm not the only one.
Your wife's been letting you play more since I got the game.
I think it's because I play with her more now.
Oh, well, whatever.
My fiance doesn't care. She's like, you play your game. I'm gonna curl up in your lap and read my Kindle while you play. And then she laughs at me for talking shit.
Oh, that's this show. Hey,
yeah.
Hello, how are you?
You see that? You see how I slid that in there? That's how good I am.
I see what you did there.
And what's the time on this, Mark? So you can save that?
Yeah, there you go.
8:41.
There you go.
No, but I don't play very often anymore. The only game I play driving games. I love it.
Just get on and fucking play with us every once in a while, will you?
Yeah,
I'm not telling you to come on in, but you got to play every fucking day.
Yeah, the only game I buy. The only game I buy anymore when it comes out, like every couple of years, is the Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
I used to buy Madden, but I have the Ultimate Game Pass. I just wait until January and then it's free.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll tell you
that's the good part of the Ultimate Game Pass.
I love the Ultimate Game Pass. I was trying to get him to buy it.
I think that's what I'm going to end up buying. I'm going to end up getting an Xbox just for it because Chris has sold me on it. It's one of those things. It's like I'm putting off buying anything until the move, because then I got to take it Paris,
Ohio.
France.
No, there's a reason why Jeff's in Cancun. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, newsbreaker, he's on the run from the law. That's why he left Ohio 22 years ago. And
it's called tax evasion, sir.
I tried telling him France has.
No, I actually pay taxes. It's a funny thing.
I was like, you could get extradited from France. I'm just saying. If a little birdie tells the cops where you are.
Yeah, there you go. No, I'm moving out to France. Yeah, hopefully by the end of March is the plan.
That's a real thing. You're going to move to Paris?
France? Oh, 100%. Well, just outside of Paris.
His wife's girlfriend, his wife's boyfriend lives there.
The thing is like the problem with living in Cancun, there's so many things to do. And in 20 years, I've done them all. Same thing in the States. I've done it all. It's time for something new. The beauty of it is my work hours, my job, I can work anywhere in the world. So I work Eastern Standard Time. So I would work from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m., do the show, whatever. Everybody's asleep, so I get complete silence to do my work. And then during the day, if I feel like it, I can go to the fucking Louvre, or I can go to fucking Britain, or I can, go to Spain for the day. It's more freedom. The problem with my job is now I sit there for 10, 12 hours a day, and then when I'm done, it's fucking dark out. There's nothing to do.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is it hard to have an Indian accent while you're doing your job? Like,
yes.
Hello. This is Jeff.
It slips all the time. Where my American accent slips out.
I fucking love that. I'm sorry. I had to throw that out there.
I'm sorry. I tell him all the time it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
What do you do for work?
Me? I actually work for a company. We do business solutions. We have a green energy project. We got a where we like when you run your credit card at a gas station, that gas station has to pay a percentage to the credit card company. We can lower that amount. We have a preventative health care program. Right now we have about 7 programs that we help out businesses with. By the end of the year, we're going to have about 30.
That'll be 90.
So how does the pyramid work again?
Put it on my tab.
The reason why Chris calls it a pyramid, we have brokers that bring us clients. Right. And if you're let's say you're a broker, one of your clients, if he becomes a broker and he brings in clients, you get paid on that as well.
It is a fucking pyramid scheme.
It's not a pyramid scheme. But
again, why do you think he lives in all these foreign countries? He's a man on the run.
The company is based in Utah.
France. Next year he'll be in Colombia. The year after that he'll be in Ethiopia. The guy's going to be a world traveler because he's running from the goddamn law.
I run from the cops. Like
I'm only one of 3 that live outside the U.S. with 150 people working for the company.
What he failed to mention was 75 of them last year were arrested and sent to federal prison.
Not one of them. But we worked directly with the IRS when we did the employee retention credit, which is COVID relief for businesses.
Yeah,
we helped over 10,000 companies recover over $2 billion.
I was not one of those companies. So
no, you were not.
That's
the employee retention credit just finished. Nonsensical nonsense wasn't around.
Like $7.95 an hour.
Well, that's the kicker with my job is I work on straight commission. If I don't close the deal, I don't get paid.
So how do you close these deals?
What's that?
Let me ask you a question, Jeff. Do you watch Grant Cardone?
No.
Do you know who Grant Cardone is?
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
How do you not know who he is?
He's in sales. No. Jeff is in sales. He should absolutely know who Jeff Cardone is.
I have no idea who that is.
I might be able to pick him out of a lineup, but I wouldn't know his name.
Now you got to Google search him.
Yeah,
that's your homework for the night. Listen, that guy when he does interviews for people that he wants to have work for him, he puts glass in front of him with water and he says, "Sell me this water." You remember the sell me the pen? Sell me the pen.
Well, I actually
write me a check. I can't write you a check. I need a pen.
I actually trained with Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. I actually trained. He's got a course that it's $1,000 for the course, and I actually have the course on DVD, and I have it memorized.
You didn't train with him because you bought his.
I've met him
course
as well. Yeah. I met him here as well. He did a seminar here, and I got to actually have dinner with him.
Jeff said, I met him. I shook his hand, and he handed me a CD. But he asked me for $30.
I actually had a dinner with him here, and
by dinner he means that they supplied a buffet at the seminar.
No.
Where they played his video.
So the way it works is you could go to the seminar. It was like $50 to go to the seminar, and then for $1,000 you could actually have dinner with him and his group. And I was 2 people away from him the whole night, and we had like an hour and a half dinner. It was awesome. But I've actually kept in touch with him as well. I've actually kept in touch with him. We email on back and forth.
I got this.
Why haven't we had him on the show then?
He's got his own podcast.
So
I've asked.
Jeff, you have a podcast. We're here on talking shit.
Asked multiple times. I've asked multiple times.
You have a podcast, you automatically can't go on any other podcast. Sorry, guys.
I've asked it multiple times.
We didn't know the rules. My bad. I should have consulted with Jeff.
So, hey, Mark. We make a bunch of money. We're going to see if Jeff will hire you for this pyramid scheme. I can't. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
If we're not laughing and having fun, we ain't doing it right,
bro. Exactly. And Chris makes fun of me all the time. And I know he doesn't think it's a pyramid scheme, even though he says he does. But the proof is in the pudding.
It's definitely a pyramid scheme.
Do you legit make money?
Yes.
Do you get a paycheck?
I get a paycheck every week.
You don't have to give half of your paycheck to like the other Jeff that runs your phone call. Okay, so yes, then that's a legitimate thing.
Yeah,
he's 3 pesos a week.
Well, come on, 4.
That's a lot where he lives.
Yeah, I can literally live in this town. I can live on like $1,500 a month.
Well, let me put it to you like this:
Paris, France, you're not going to live for $1,500 a month.
Oh, I know that. That's rent.
I've been to France. I've been to Italy. I'm not a huge fan, and I know that everything is more expensive. So, prepare yourself, sir.
Oh no, I've been there before. It's one of those things. It's like one of the programs we have has a residual payout because it's a preventative healthcare program. So that once I get a couple of those locked down, I'll be sitting on X amount of dollars every single month just for waking up in the morning. That's when we're making the move.
You know what else is great? I'm super glad that you just learned French because I didn't understand a fucking thing you just said. He's already studied. He knows.
Brian, before we started the show and stuff, Click here was talking about how he had to wear Steelers stuff. Now, I want to hear why he had to wear it because I know that he's a Browns fan.
I am a diehard lifelong Cleveland Browns fan. Yes, trust me. Anything you can say about them, I've already said, and I've said worse. Trust me.
That's
so
how I feel about
it. In the past week.
My fiance, she was born and raised, grew up about an hour north of Pittsburgh. Her family are diehard Shttt Squealer fans, right? Her dad's been season ticket holder for about 40 years. I'll have to send you guys on Facebook or something our seats. Front row, right behind the Steelers bench. This is where their tickets are. They've had them for the last 40 years with the old stadium and everything. So last year when we first started dating, it was towards the end of the season, and we made a bet. If the Browns beat the Steelers, she had to wear Browns, like a Browns shirt on game day in PA at a Steelers bar where all our friends were. If the Browns lost, I had to wear a Steelers hat for I think it was this is last year for like a week or something like that. 7 days to work everything. I actually really like the hat that I got. I've actually worn it outside of the bet. It was a very nice hat. I mean, you can see here. Mesh on the back.
Nice hat.
Yep. A very nice hat.
Yep.
So we made basically the same bet this year. The only difference was if the Steelers won, I had to wear a shirt and a hat for a week worth of shows. So every show I had to wear Steelers gear. If the Browns won, she had to get her nails done in Browns colors. And then when we go to PA for a weekend, she has to wear nothing but Browns stuff. And on Sunday, again, we go to a Steelers bar where all her friends are, and she has to wear Browns stuff. So obviously we went to the Monday night game in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. And you guys cheated and paid off the refs and were able to beat the Browns.
We have been playing against the refs from day one, and you know it.
Minka Fitzpatrick's a piece of shit, and she did a low blow on Nick Chubb and took his leg out. But
it was total accident. I watched the fucking replay of that. I was like, God damn, that sucks.
Dude, seeing it in the stadium and seeing it in person, I know it wasn't intentional. I like to talk shit on, right?
He likes to
but if you see back here behind me, we have a house divided flag.
I see that.
So again, we had it draped over the wall the whole game. At the end of the game, Joey Porter Jr. was getting ready to run to the locker room and looks up and sees it, and he sees us. I'm in all Browns. I got my Myles Garrett jersey on. She's in all Steelers. He's like, hell yeah, somebody give me a fucking marker right now. He's like, this is awesome. So
you got JPJ to sign that?
Signed our flag.
Nice.
So obviously I had to. So we're finally paying up on our bets because she had to get a shirt big enough to fit my big ass, but she wanted to find one that she would wear that she would like as well. So last week I had to wear Steelers stuff every show. And now next football season, she'll have to pay up on her end of the bet since the season's over. However, we did add a caveat into the bet that if the Browns moved on past the Texans, that the bet would be pushed off a week. That way I wasn't wearing Steelers gear during the playoffs while the Browns were still in there.
Oh, no. You
Browns got handed.
Yeah.
The Browns got their ass handed.
So I didn't know that you and Mark knew each other ahead of time, and that's the bet you lost to wear this Michigan stuff. So.
Oh, fuck no.
No, I'm a diehard Michigan fan. So
Mark is a diehard Michigan fan. How do you guys feel about your coach taking a new position?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I called it halfway through the season.
Did we see San Diego, or excuse me, did we see the Chargers though picking him up?
Yes.
No, I didn't. Well,
at first
I
thought it was going to be the Raiders.
Yeah, in the last couple of weeks after the Chargers fired their coach and everything, they interviewed him the first time. I said, "Oh, he's going to San Diego. He's going back out to the West Coast because that's where he's outside of Michigan. That's where he's had his most success. Right. Look what he did to Stanford. Look what he did at San Francisco. He's going back out there. They already have a team in San Diego. They have a young, very talented team in San Diego. So I wasn't too surprised, but I knew he was going to go to the NFL halfway through the season. My biggest
Mark
thing
called
is,
that too. Mark said if they win the championship, he's leaving.
Yeah, my biggest thing is I really hope, in all honesty, Michigan offers and hires Sharon Moore as our new head coach.
They already gave it to him.
Did they give it to him? I haven't seen the update.
They give it to him. But the problem is in Michigan, you have to have a job opening up for 7 days before you can actually close it.
Okay.
So therefore, got all the endorsements, everything else, and then I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, I have no problem with Harbaugh going to the NFL. He did what he said he wanted to do. He got that championship for Michigan, and now he's moving on. And that, I can't fault him for that. The biggest thing is Harbaugh only coached half the season, if you count that.
That's the other thing that kind of leaves, it leaves a shitty taste. I'm not going to speak for me personally. I could probably speak for a majority of the Michigan fan base, but it leaves kind of a shitty taste in our mouth because of everything that went down this season with all the sign stealing, which every fucking college team does it at the end of the day. Let's be honest. Stop it. It's not that big of a deal. But with like the recruiting infractions and shit like that, and then being suspended the first few games and then missing, 3 games or whatever it was in the middle of the season, and then getting suspended literally the night before Penn State. It's like, that kind of leaves a shitty taste in our mouth that you're like, you got all this shit going on and you're Pete Carroll on us. If you remember back, Pete Carroll dipped on USC when they got their title stripped away. Reggie Bush got his fucking Heisman stripped away, and Pete Carroll just said, I'm going to Seattle.
I think Reggie Bush should be able to get back his Heisman because of the fact that
I don't think he should have ever lost it at the end of the day.
I mean, that was before that they were officially allowed to pay the players.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of the shitty thing about it with everything that was going on this season, But I don't think Harbaugh is the credit for getting us that national championship. I think it was the team, and I truly believe that Moore stepped up in a big way and proved himself more than a capable coach to take over that team. And even with losing everything that we're losing with the seniors we're losing and guys that are in the draft, the Don has said he's coming back. A couple other guys have said they're coming back.
We knew most of the offense was going to be leaving, though.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Orgy. I can't wait to see what Orgy does as the quarterback.
I think I don't know. I don't trust him yet.
Well, he hasn't been tested, but you got a couple glimpses of him during the season. So I'm excited. He's a big guy, and he can move, and there's another QB behind him that looks like he possesses a lot of talent as well.
2025, we have that 5-star coming in.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, Ohio State. I don't like to count my chickens before the eggs hatch, but Ohio State, all that money you're spending to bring all them boys from Alabama to Ohio State, they didn't help Alabama in the Rose Bowl. What makes you think they're going to help you next season?
Jeff's
what about Georgia? What about Georgia and scooping up other talent as well? Listen, I'm telling you right now, Georgia's the only team you got to worry about.
This is the only thing that I don't like about the NILs and being able to. When I knew once you started allowing college players to be paid, you were gonna muddy up college football.
Oh yeah, it happened. And then you allow them to change schools right in the middle of an entire fucking football season. And
then they can play immediately.
And I don't want that. That should not happen. Here's the thing: you want to trade teams, no problem. You got to sit out a year, 1 year.
I agree.
That's what it used to
season.
Yeah, that's what it used to be.
So,
but now it's not.
I feel like guys, I apologize. I feel like we're leaving Jeff out of the conversation
No,
here.
just not
Never
a
want to do
sports
that.
guy.
I'm not
Just not a sports guy.
I
That's
actually have
okay.
to go. I have to go. I have to go to a parent teacher conference.
But hold on. But wait.
Nice.
You're lucky I know what this is, so but I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it? God damn it. I'm sorry, guys. I had to do it, bro. Like, I look over at Jeff and I look at this and I'm like, holy fuck, that's fucking.
Yeah, we have clips like similar to that for days on our show that I can literally, I pull them mid-show and get them up rocking and rolling. But like I said, I gotta go get changed and head out to this parent-teacher conference.
Enjoy yourself.
I don't miss those days.
Have
keep
fun,
climbing
boys.
that pyramid, my friend. Catch
right,
you next
bye-bye.
time.
All right,
I don't know who does teacher conferences at 9:00 at night, but
Where the fuck are you? Well, he's not. He's in
Mexico.
Cancun. What time is it in Cancun?
it's 9:00.
It's fucking. What the fuck? He's going to dinner.
Cancun, that's over by California, so it'd be like 5 o'clock there.
No, they're on the same time as we are.
Okay.
They're on Eastern.
Yep.
How's that possible? Mexico's.
I don't know. I don't make the rules.
Mark, what the fuck?
I thought that I've okay.
I thought the same thing. Trust me. When Jeff and I were like, let's do this podcast, I was like, wait a minute, aren't you like 3 hours behind me? He's like, what time is it there? And it was like 4 o'clock. I was like, and he's like, it's fucking 4 o'clock here, dude. I said, how? How is that even possible? You're literally
like
right below California.
Yeah, you're halfway around the world.
But yeah, he's so it's crazy. Like this time of year, we're on the same time. But in the spring, when we spring forward, he's an hour behind us. They don't have time.
They don't do time changes.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So
does it though?
No,
none of it makes sense.
All right.
It's
hold on, Brian. Before we go any further, I want to get this done and over with. Normally, we ask our guests to help us introduce our next guest.
Oh, Jesus. You're going to put me on the spot?
Yep.
Well, yeah, Jeff left you, so.
Son of a bitch.
I was trying to ask before he left, but it didn't.
Jeff's fired. Effective immediately. Jeff's fired. I'm going to post a new co-host job posting on Indeed.
Yeah, but it doesn't pay. So, I mean, what do you?
That's okay. You get to hang out with me. That's the pay.
You get to be on camera.
Yeah.
Right? Bring your own camera.
Bring your own camera.
Brian, do you know who our next guest is?
I don't, man. I did not write that down.
You don't know. February 1st.
It's a recall.
No. Well, technically, yes, because she did cancel on us because
Jamie
she got
Hill.
sick.
No.
She did. Her mom got sick, but
it's Randy Savage's.
No. Shh.
I'm gonna go fried chicken real quick before you put me on the spot.
All right, I think we're all gonna go fried chicken. Are we frying chicken?
No.
We all gonna go at the same time?
No. You go ahead. Go ahead and fry your chicken. We'll see you in a minute.
I gotta stop pushing buttons.
No. It's not. It's not her.
No.
Oh yeah.
No, the other one we can't announce it. We can't announce just yet.
Yeah. Why?
Because she hasn't answered me back here lately.
What was the question?
Can we finally announce you being on the show? She hasn't responded back yet.
Do you have a phone number yet?
No.
Let's get a phone number. I'll call her. I will bug her. Give me her name and location, and I will find her. Is she on TikTok?
She's on Facebook. That was quick.
Oh, right.
That's
there.
way fast.
I got a small bladder.
I gotta walk down the fucking hallway and shit.
Oh yeah, no, I'm actually doing the show from my bedroom, so the master bathroom is literally like 8 feet away from me.
Nice. I don't have that luxury. All right, so here's who we have then. So next week on this show, we're
what's the name of the show again?
We're gonna have LaDonna Humphreys. Is that right? LaDonna Humphreys.
Yep.
You want to write this down?
LaDonna Humphreys?
Yep. From Deep Dark Secrets podcast.
Holy crap. I might need to write that down.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a lot of words are hard. Do I have creative?
Yes.
You got a little bit of creative. It's at 9 o'clock though.
All we're asking is that you announce the next guest for this show. That's all.
So I gotta tell people who I am.
Of course you have to. You got to say, I'm Glick from. All right, I'm gonna go figure out if that chicken is done frying or not. I'm gonna go check on the chicken.
Okay, so
in about 5 minutes.
I don't have my notebook back here anymore. LaDonna Humphreys.
Deep Dark Secrets. Special start time at 9 p.m.
Deep Dark Secrets. Is that a podcast?
Yep. She does true crime.
Oh, not. Oh, I'll have to check that out.
She's really good.
Special start time 9 p.m.
Yep. February 1st.
There's a lot of stuff. Words are hard.
Yeah. It can be. Just tell me when you're ready, and then I'll pop myself off and let you do it on the screen.
All right, let me go ahead and get the bling up here.
I mean, I could do that too, because I got the NWA title, and I got the old Gold Wing title for WWF.
Oh, nice! I got a Smoking Skull as well. That was actually sent to me by a friend of mine that I knew from another platform. Shit went down and nobody had his back, and he's a big wrestling fan, and the guy collects replica belts, and he was like, dude, since you were there when nobody else was there, and I know you're a huge wrestling fan, I know you're a big Stone Cold fan, I want to send you a gift. And I told him he didn't have to, but he just wouldn't let it go. So I was like, I'm not going to argue with you, man. I've always wanted a Smoking Skull belt. It's got the it looks like rattlesnake skin on the back. So what is this? This is next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
How'd you do? Did you do this already?
No.
What are you thinking about?
He was just about
trying to build up courage. Listen, talk about the circle. I'm sorry, not the circle, the pyramid.
The pyramid. Trust me. I don't need to work on courage. I just want to make sure I had all.
Jeff is such a good sport about that shit too, man. That's fucking fantastic.
He really is, and I brutalize him every show about it. I make fun of him because I tell him all the time, don't bring it up on the show. Stop bringing it up on it, and he always tries to sneak it in. So then I just brutalize him.
So I tell people, because I'm in sales as well. So people ask me what I do for a living, and I say I sell adult toys.
My ex-wife,
because I don't sell like those kind of adult toys. I sell
probably the wrong type of.
I sell 4-wheelers and motorcycles. You know, I work in a toy store.
We sold.
The what?
Although I think they did have some that were 2-cycle.
With a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to pull us off the screen? Do you got this? You good with this?
We'll see what I can do.
We'll give you a chance here. I mean, it's easy.
What's going on, guys? It's Glick, your podcast heavyweight champion from Nonsensical Nonsense. Tune in next week to Talking Shit. They're going to have LaDonna Humphreys from Deep Dark Secrets podcast, February 1st, with a special start time, 9 p.m. Tune in. Be there. Or else.
Or else. He said or else. That was fantastic. So Mark's going to clip that, and he'll use that as our running commercial for next week's episode. I think we did that for your guys' show too, right?
No, Jamie Hill.
Oh, because Jamie didn't show up.
Right.
No, I do a lot. I do a lot of stuff like that on the show. Just like we have a couple sponsors.
We don't have those.
And
we don't work hard enough, I guess.
We don't work hard enough, and we're not making any money. We've made very little money, but we have them nonetheless. And I had pre-recorded a couple videos, and after a few times of playing them, I'm just like, this is fucking lame. Like, this is really lame. So when we go to break on the show, we generally do at minimum a 3-hour show. So we take breaks and we play music, and but before we go to break, I just got tired. I just thought it was really lame and boring. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to do live ad reads. And I try to swing the conversation into break. And as I do the ad read, incorporate whatever we're talking about into the ad read. I'm sure if our sponsors actually listened to us, they would drop us real quick in a heartbeat. We have like Liquid IV, and I did a live ad read about a celebrity that died, and I was like, well, maybe if he was better hydrated, he wouldn't have freaking died.
Oh wow!
Anyways, check out Liquid IV, otherwise, so you don't end up dead like this guy.
I told Mark, like, I shave my head all the time, and I use skull shaver, and I'm like, I'll reach out to them and see if they want to. I think they saw my picture and they were like, yeah, pass.
Yeah, no. I keep trying to get a beard sponsor, like a beard care sponsor.
Oh yeah, there's a ton
and the crazy thing is, the product that I use, Mad Viking or whatever, my fiance knows all the guys who own it because it's a PA based company.
They don't
and I talked to the co-owner, and I'm like, and he was like, yeah, totally, let's do it. And then I reach out to him, and then you don't hear anything, and it's just like, oh, I want some like free beard oil and maybe some balm and shampoo and conditioner. You don't even have to pay me.
Yeah.
But
they don't want to give up anything though. That's the whole thing. Like, how are you going to advertise for? I mean, I wish I could advertise the show better. I'm like, okay, well, we got Facebook and YouTube and this and that. I'm like, let's put it on other people's show.
Dude, it's a struggle, man. I do everything behind the scenes for our show. Plus,
Mark's that guy. He does everything.
Yeah. I pick on Jeff a lot. I told Mark, I said, Jeff might be there tonight. It don't matter. I do everything for this dumpster fire anyway. So
that was the first one on the screen.
Yeah, he was on there for almost.
I thought we were getting Glick. I was like, what the hell?
Who's this asshole?
Because Steven told me, he was like, oh my God, dude, you're gonna love him. I was like, okay. He was like, him and Jeff are like you and Mark. And I was like, really? And I see it. I get it. I mean, you and I run the show, and these guys, they take care of the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, they're just there. No, but
right. Running pyramid schemes behind our backs.
Getting rich and not sharing anything with us. But I do everything behind the scenes. I upload the audio, I download the audio so we can get it out there. We're on every podcast platform, the big ones, Spotify, Google, Apple, all that stuff. I do all the social media, which there's a reason why our social media is kind of lacking, because between work, I have full custody of all 3 of my kids. My fiance and I are planning our marriage, or planning our wedding. Doing the show 3 nights a week. I just started doing a 4th show. So I do 2 shows 4 nights a week.
It's crazy. I can't even keep up with one show. I'm like, Mark, dude, it's too much. Like, we got to slow down a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got a lot on my plate. Social media, it kind of falls into the wayside. I'm trying to get a little bit better at it, but it's like, dude, if you could just help a little bit. And that's what kind of happened with our one of the many things that happened with a previous co-host that was on the show, because we used to be a 3-man show. It's just, there's only so much I can do, and I've literally grown, not that we have a bunch of followers, but I've grown all of our social media single-handedly by myself. So, but it's worth it. At the end of the day, I know eventually down the road it'll pay off, and it'll be 100% worth it.
That's what we're hoping for too. I mean, I think we've done pretty well. Mark accidentally made our group private for the Facebook group. I'm not real sure how he did it.
I did
we're
that.
Like 700 people, and I'm like, holy fuck, how did this happen?
Yeah,
like who wants to join a private group? I don't. I'm like,
yeah. I did the same thing to ours. It was purely by accident. We were getting all those weird fucking bots. Yeah, they won't let you change the setting. So we were getting, I don't know if it happened to you guys, but we were getting all those weird fucking bots that were just like dropping pornography in there.
We had like one or two, like we had a fucking crazy. We had a crazy dude. I ain't gonna lie to you. Bro was like, yeah, I'm thinking about building up a noose up in this tree. Who wants me to put somebody in it? And I was like, all right, that guy's got to go.
Yeah, gotta go.
You're sick? Go drink bleach. I was like, yeah, that guy's got to go. I'm done.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like,
you can't do that, bro.
You know, Facebook.
I get jokes and shit. That's fun.
Yeah. Facebook will bust our balls because I play a band that I've reached out to and talked to, and they've given us permission to play their music.
And because you're still playing their music, they mute it.
Yeah, they'll mute it. They'll take it down. But all these bots can put pornography. We were getting 5-6 posts a day, and I was trying to delete them, and somehow I accidentally made it. And that's what led me to create the actual Facebook page that we have now, which, you know, a couple people have been like, dude, you got to have like a Facebook page, create like a business page. And I was like, okay. But yeah, we had like 600 some odd followers. We haven't grown since it got set to private.
We've grown.
But we're asking everybody's, you know, just like having you guys on the show. Hey, ask your followers to follow us. We're going to follow you guys. We're going to ask our followers to follow you.
When we first started at 500, we did a drawing, and then we tried to do at 700, which we're less than 23 away from 700. Mm-hmm. And then we put it out there. If we got 1200 by a certain date, that we would I would shave my head like Brian. And then a guy named Bryce Tucker said, okay, if you do that, I'll come down to Florida and I'll shave it for you. And we trying.
Well, he's getting like Bryce is bigger in the comedic world, and he's putting out a lot of content now, and he's going to be fantastic, man, as he progresses. I mean, I don't know if you ever watch a podcast called Kill Tony.
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Look up Kill Tony. It's a podcast. It's literally stand-up comedy. Is all.
No, nice.
It's bringing all these new guys onto a stage, and then you have a panel down there, and the panel may be like, "You fucking suck, get off the stage." You know, it's great. Like Ric Flair was a part of it, and like got really wasted and was like, "Oh, I'm out of here because you guys are making fun of me." Like I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me now?" Yeah. But it's called Kill Tony. If you go to Facebook and just put in Kill Tony podcast, you'll find it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. But that's one thing that we do when we start the show. I have a friend of mine who's a musician. This cat is amazing. He does EDM music.
Oh, great!
But he sings, he raps, he writes, he produces, he makes all his own. You know, but the dude can sing rock music, and it's ridiculous. He can sing like John Legend. Actually, I think he sings better than John Legend. He's one, in my opinion. He's if he ever gets big, he'll be a top tier rapper and not a mumble rap and not all that bullshit like old school 90s hip hop, early 2000s hip hop. He can sing country music. I mean, the cat can do it all. Super talented. He actually created our intro music for us. He made that for us. Him and I met on TikTok, and we got super close. He, at this point in time, he's like a brother to me. He's got his first album that'll be coming out here soon, and he's like, dude, he's like, when I announced the album, the first place I want to do it is on your show.
So,
and I was like, hell yeah, dude. You know, like he's done music for Netflix shows and movies, like Netflix originals.
Yeah, that's something that we want to try to eventually do, is get somebody to do our intro, the song.
Yeah. And I told him, he was like, what do you guys want? I said, just do whatever you want, man. Do your thing.
Yeah.
He actually turned me on to EDM music. I'm not the biggest fan of EDM, but you know, so when we come in and we start the show and we do the intro, I always shout out our social media. We also have a bio link page that has all of our links. It's bio.link/nonsensical nonsense. And it's literally got everything there, including links to our sponsors. So I mean, it's that easy. You can go right there and you can, or if you're on one of our social medias, the link is pinned at the top of, or is in our profile, in our bio. So we try to make it as easy as we can, but at the same time, I understand platforms like Instagram or TikTok, you got to create content to grow.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I had a little bit of free time before I left work today. And I wasn't even out of the first hour. Last night's show was one of those, we have them. It's not like a once in a lifetime thing. We have them a lot. Jeff and I have a natural rhythm and a natural flow together like you guys have, where half the time, even though we're so far away, I'm in Ohio, he's in Cancun, we know what each other's thinking without saying anything. And a lot of times we got called out a couple weeks ago because we were doing a Saturday night show, and Jeff and I, somebody made it, I can't remember if it was me or if it was Jeff, one of us made a joke and we both started dancing, but we literally, with not playing, we both started doing the same dance in our chairs. And we had a couple of people in the panel that were like, are you two literally choreographed right now?
That's great.
But it's you got to have content. I realized that. So I had a little bit of free time and I started clipping videos or getting little 1 minute, 2 minute videos from the show last night. And I think I'm up to like 4 or 5 videos just in the first hour and a half that I can throw up on Instagram Reels. I can throw them up on TikTok. That's the name of the game.
That's what he's trying. That's what Brian wants me to do, but I don't feel like
it's hard to do. It's hard to do when you got other stuff going on. I totally understand it.
This month has went by really quick for me. With my mom being in the ICU, almost passing away, and then my shoulder, and then getting sick in between it. No, I'm done.
No, I get that.
And that's why my wife is like, hey, listen, you should do some pre-recorded stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but our show it's always live. And she's like, I get it, but do some pre-recorded stuff. So when stuff like this happens, you guys can just be like, hey, here's our show. This is what we're doing this week.
I mean, when we did the one with Rob Mello, that one helped me get out of my head. Last week, Jamie Hill, her mom got sick. So, and I still wasn't
and
feeling
your mom
good.
being sick. And yeah.
Right. And that would have probably been the best time to do one like that.
But,
well, Brian, if Mark's ever slacking, you can always hit me up. I can fill in,
Listen, I don't even know how to turn on this computer. Okay.
You sound okay now. You sound more like Jeff.
I have a son-in-law, and here's our setup, dude. The screen is this fucking big. It's 2 screens, right? The lighting in here is absolutely atrocious because this is why I'm turning into this guy right now. But there's 2 screens, so I'm like, okay, hey, this is what I have to do. I need to go on this thing, and he gets me set up. So he's like, you want a green screen? Yeah. So I put the green screen up. So he gets me all set up there. He gets me logged in. All I got to do is come in here and hit Enter Studio, and I'm done.
He doesn't know. He can't play
I'm telling you,
cannot play the intro.
I can't do any
outro.
of it.
He can't do none of that.
Sorry.
Oh, you should
I'm that old. I'm that old. Like, I don't get it.
You should see what happens to Jeff if I'm like, introduce the show tonight. Like just do the intro that I've done 1,000,000 times. Welcome to the show, blah blah blah. You know the drill.
Yeah.
He's like, what? He'll fuck up the name of the show. He'll fuck up our social media. I dropped a grenade on him a couple weeks ago. And I was like, do an ad read, Jeff, and he was like, drink liquid IV. It'll hydrate you. And I was like, Cool. You want to pick some music, Jeff? I mean, he's pretty good with the computer and the aspect and pulling up clips and that, because we've got a lot of stuff in our brand. I mean, you guys know how StreamYard work with the brand on the side.
Yeah.
We use that we use that religiously. We've got videos, songs for days. We've got little goofy ass clips where like from Hot Tub Time Machine, that You're a Fucking Nerd song. If somebody's nerding out talking about Lord of the Rings, or I'm talking about football or whatever, we have that clip that we can just hit the button and it comes right up. I'll give Jeff credit for that, but as far as like running the show and doing the show, if I was having an off night, yeah, he's like, it's like putting a high school team up against a fucking NFL team at that moment, because
or Michigan, because they already know all the answers.
Hey, we just did what everybody was doing, only better. Don't hate us because you ain't us.
Listen, I'm just saying, when's Bill Belichick coming?
He's not. I foresee him going
sure?
I see him going to the Chiefs when Andy Reid's done this year.
You think Andy Reid's going to be done this year?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
That's the biggest rumor.
Way.
That's the biggest rumor right now.
Listen, here we are, Pittsburgh Steelers sitting around with no offensive coordinator.
You're without a coach too.
No,
you really think Belichick? You really think
he has not signed an
offensive coordinator?
Yes, he has.
No, he did not. He
signed
has
an
not signed
extension.
No,
yes,
he has not. When?
Okay.
He got it. He was offered a 2-year extension.
Yeah, he signed a 2-year extension.
He didn't sign it yet. He said he was waiting to talk to his wife and kids.
No, he signed it. I promise you.
I mean, if Tomlin had any brain cells in his head left at all, he would sign, because you're not going to be a head.
He's not going to be a head coach at any other.
Yeah, but he's not going to
be a head coach anywhere else.
Yeah,
you're right.
Unfortunately,
I agree. Listen, he got picked over Dick LeBeau, which I thought Dick LeBeau would have made a better head coach, quite honestly.
Agreed.
Dick LeBeau was
you can thank your team. You can thank your team for the Rooney Rule,
which was
that's why he got hired.
Oh, because he's black?
Yeah,
not because he's black, but because of the Rooney Rule. Had it not been because of the Rooney Rule, and nothing against Mike Tomlin, I think up until the last 2-3 years, he's been a good coach. He's kind of been slacking it, but I think had it not been for the Rooney Rule, LeBeau would have been in there, no question.
Here's the thing. I liked Dick LeBeau. I loved him as our coordinator, but I'm telling you right now, I think he would have really drove our team. I mean, I think that we would have probably been the Bill Belichick era. You know what I'm saying? With
well, it sure how wouldn't have picked Kenny Pickett then.
I don't think so either. Tiny Hands Pickett, he is going to be a starter. Yeah, listen, we had a third string quarterback come out of nowhere, and it's like, holy fuck.
Yeah, a third string quarterback with a giant dent in his head.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that dome piece, bro.
I have that picture back there on my dresser.
That's why he lets his hair grow the way he does.
Is that what it is? So you can't see that giant.
He's like, I need more protection up in this area.
In case I get mouthy again and somebody smashes me in the head with my own helmet. No, one of the I think for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think this is probably one of the coolest thing about the organization, but also at the same time, probably one of their biggest downfalls is that they keep guys in the organization and on the team way past their prime. Like Ben Roethlisberger should have been out the door 2 years before he left.
I think we all agree on that. As a Pittsburgh fan, here's the thing though: we never had anybody behind him that we felt confident in. That was our issue.
Yeah,
if we could have picked up somebody like a young, oh my God, like Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
If we could have picked somebody up like Josh Allen when he was a young backup quarterback, we would have been fantastic with him. That would have been
cool, yeah.
So, but I mean, there were quarterbacks that I looked at and I was like, why didn't we get him? Why did we pass on him?
But who am I to talk about quarterbacks? Cleveland's had 40 of them in the last 25 years.
Listen, we had some of the worst quarterbacks like Cordell Stewart.
And Charlie Batch.
Charlie Batch.
Tommy Maddox.
I mean, come on, man. We had some terrible quarterbacks, but then, Bubby Brister.
Yeah.
So I can go. I can keep this train going. We looked for Terry Bradshaw, and the only Terry Bradshaw we could find was Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, and as much as I hate to say it, okay, I understand. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm supposed to hate the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't hate the Pittsburgh Steelers. I respect the organization. I think it's a great football organization. I love the family that owns the team. You guys have had some great players that come through there. Hell, I used to have a Jerome Bettis jersey when he was playing. Unfortunately, my ex-wife stole it. Yeah, my ex-wife stole it. She stole my Palomalo jersey. But it is what it is. But you're not wrong. I mean, you guys latch on to a player who is so good in their position, like Ben Roethlisberger, who nobody expected Ben to be as good as Ben was.
Right.
Let's be honest. I mean, he was 6'6", 250-pound.
Guy was fat. He was a fat kid.
Yeah, he was a bumbling oaf. He was a big dumb animal from fucking Ohio. He was me. He was a big dumb animal from Ohio,
but he was fucking great. He had his own podcast. It was called The Other Nonsensical Nonsense Talking Shit Show.
It was called Wish Version Nonsensical Nonsense.
The Wish Version.
Yeah. No, but you can't. But yeah, you can't hate the guy. But yeah, like you said, you guys never had anybody that you could count on behind him in his 20 seasons or whatever that he was there or something like that. 10 seasons.
It was a fuck ton.
Yeah.
Cordell Stewart left us in 12, 13. What was it, Mark?
Yeah, so was it like 10 or so seasons?
Actually, it was before that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
But I had great hopes for Cordell Stewart because I was like, oh my God, this guy, he can do everything. He's a fucking running back. He's a fucking wide receiver. And now he's a fucking quarterback. And everybody was hyping him up and everything. And I was just like, why does he not play good at this position? Because he is fucking trash. Oh, so listen, let's not talk about Pittsburgh anymore because the Detroit Lions have a spot right now.
NFC Championship matchup against the
San Francisco. Go to the Super Bowl against. Yeah, they're playing the Niners. Who do you got in this game?
I'll let you go first, Mark.
We all know who I got. I'm a Detroit fan. I've been a Detroit fan.
He has to.
Yeah.
46, almost 47 years I've been a fan.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop now.
Now, hold on. Before I get your answer for this one, Glick, don't look at the colors of the logo that the talk of the town that everybody's got going on.
You want me to ignore the news, the local news station that put up Reba McEntire?
We'll be at the 49ers.
You got to ignore that. A Canadian news station.
Well, so my picks probably maybe not quite midway through the season, maybe the halfway mark. My picks have been Baltimore and San Francisco in the Super Bowl.
Most people have picked that, yes. I'm hoping that Detroit plays spoiler.
I think.
I hope so too.
I think, depending upon which Detroit team shows up, Detroit has a very good chance of playing spoiler. I'm still saying my vote is still the San Francisco 49ers because, as I was telling Mark before the show started, you look back at the season this year, and if you're a football fan at all, in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens were the most complete team. They were the most well-rounded, surprisingly
crazy.
It's
crazy.
Well-rounded team. And the San Francisco 49ers, outside of, they struggled against the AFC North. Hello, what's up? Yeah. They went 1-3 against the AFC North. They lost to Cincy, they lost to Baltimore, and they lost to Cleveland. But By the way, shout out to the AFC North. Since you're a Steelers fan, the first team in like forever to have all 4 teams in the division with a winning record.
Yeah.
However, is San Francisco 49ers, I think they're the best team in the NFL. Hands down, I think they're the best team in the NFL. If they beat Detroit, I think they're going to beat Baltimore, and I think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. But again, it just depends on, and I would love to see Detroit beat San Francisco for one reason and one reason only, and that's my guy Aiden Hutchinson. Kids, when the last time, when his last game against Ohio State, I have an old school throwback Michigan jersey. It was his dad's Michigan jersey. The number, I have his dad's jersey, which was his jersey, so I would love to see Aiden Hutchinson get to the Super Bowl. No, I don't, and the quarterback, with his history and his story and how LA shit on him and everything like that. What a fantastic story.
It's the comeback story.
Yeah, headlines for days. However, I don't think it's going to be this year's. And Dan Campbell,
you don't think he has it in the tank?
I don't think it's this year. I don't think it's this year because of the Niners.
The Niners
Brock Purdy over Goff.
I'm going to take Brock Purdy over Jared Goff 29 of 30 days in a month.
Okay. So
nothing against Jared Goff.
Well, listen, there's got to be a chip on the shoulder, though. That's where I think Jared Goff steps up to the plate and says, "You know what? That's
why I said that could be that day 30 where
Detroit's all their starters are back. I'm happy about that, but
no, I don't have a dog in a fight in the fight in the NFC. I would be happy either way. My pick was San Francisco midway through the season. I'm not going to be mad either way. I love the storyline with Detroit. I love the Jared Goff situation. I loved when they played Los Angeles, and you know how that city treated Goff. They shit all over them, and here he is in Detroit just doing his thing. But the same can be said about Stafford. I mean, the guy put his blood, sweat, and tears, everything he had into Detroit all those years for nothing, and then the man goes to LA
for them to get fucking cut.
It goes to LA and he wins his. Is it Goff's turn? It should be, but unfortunately, not only am I biased because I'm an AFC guy, but unfortunately, whoever wins that game has to run into that buzzsaw known as Harbaugh's Baltimore Ravens.
Oh yeah,
and they've been
Detroit, and Detroit's already faced them once this year and got their ass handed.
They got beat down. Look what Baltimore did to Miami, man. Nobody expected that to happen in the regular season.
Not like that.
Yeah.
I would love to see it, and here's my dream matchup for it because I'm not a huge Lions fan. I never was. I don't know half the players on the team, right? But I really feel that it is Detroit's time. And I think that they go in this week against the Niners. And unfortunately, I think the Niners are going to just slip up just a little bit. And I think Detroit ends up facing Baltimore in the championship match. Do they go home with a trophy? Absolutely not. However, this is where I'm going with it. I feel like that's what's going to happen. Lamar Jackson he's a fucking animal. I don't understand.
He's a totally different quarterback this year. Like everybody knows, and you probably know better than most people, much like myself. We play him twice a year. He's a glorified fucking running back, and then all of a sudden this year he can fucking throw the ball down the field. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball. He can put blocks out there. It's like, what the hell?
It's amazing what money can do for you.
Very true, because he has been asking for that big payday for a while. Yeah, well, injuries, but you also know Lamar's been asking for that big payday for the last few years, and Baltimore's been dicking him around. And I was actually really surprised that he was still in Baltimore this year and that they coughed up the money for him. Yeah, but I'm glad they finally did. There's
who else were they going to keep? Who were they going to keep? Who were they going to have as a starter?
Well, Huntley hasn't been a bad backup for him.
That is true.
But that's I think that's his gimmick though. He's going to be the backup quarterback.
Yeah, he's like who are the oh god, what I'm drawing a blank. The two brothers, McCown.
Yeah, Luke and I can't remember his other brother.
We had both of them. Yeah, we've had both of them in Cleveland.
Yeah, Detroit had
both of them. Both of them are more than capable to be starters, but they're just not. They're just backup. You know, they play. But I wouldn't be mad at that. You know how much money a backup quarterback makes?
More than what we make now.
And he doesn't have to get injured to make that kind of money.
Yeah.
Yes, they make a fuck ton of money.
When you get done, will you get me a couple beers?
Shouldn't have said that. Sorry.
I mean, look at Chad Henne, Michigan guy. He was a backup to Patrick Mahomes. He got 2 rings as a backup.
Listen, I take those 2 rings if I could sit on a bench somewhere and play in preseason football and do absolutely fucking ass, and then turn around and still go to the Super Bowl behind Mahomes or somebody like that. I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the guy, I think he's played in one, you know, he got credit for 1 playoff victory. And that was in 2019 when KC played Cleveland. And, you know, Cleveland took out Mahomes in like the second quarter. And Chad Henne came in and played. And it was just like, I mean, he came in and did his job at the end of the day.
Yeah, that day he was Chad Henne the Winnie.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mark, you got your picks in. You picked Detroit because that's your team against
Detroit. It'll be the Ravens.
The Ravens. That's my pick. Detroit versus the Ravens. And you are 49ers versus the
49ers Ravens.
And it's not because of the logo color.
No, it has nothing to do.
I want to clear the air.
You know, that's the other thing. Oh shit! As hard as it is to not buy into the NFL is rigged,
they do come up with that color stream.
Yeah, now that Vegas has got their grubby little hands into the NFL, you know, this as hard as it is. I'm not a conspiracy guy. I don't buy into conspiracies. However, I mean, you look back at it and
the color codes show it.
People have a valid point. They have a pretty valid point. Especially with the last 2 seasons, you know, the officiating has been horrible. The last
God.
But the last 2 seasons,
and that's been the talk of this entire season, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, it don't matter who your team is. I mean, I know I've watched the Browns games, and there's been more than one occasion, and I'm not just saying it because it was the Steelers, but that Steelers game in Pittsburgh on Monday night, there was some piss poor officiating going on, and I'm in the stadium watching it going, the fuck is going on here?
Listen, I'm not a Miami fan either, but I'm going to tell you what, Miami got a raw deal. Their last game, their playoff game. So,
well, yeah, I mean, and not only that, but I mean, as we all know, if you play Kansas City in Kansas City, you're playing the Chiefs and the refs. I mean,
did you read
the
nice.
That's great. But all right, boys, we have been on here for almost 2 hours. I still haven't eaten yet, so I'm gonna go eat some food.
Yeah, I was gonna say my shoulder's starting to bother me, so
whatever. The show's starting to bother me.
We'll see. Sorry.
All right, before we let you go, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about, discuss with our little fan base that we got here, the 2 people that are watching?
No, I mean, you guys, you know, hey guys, don't be afraid to check out Nonsensical Nonsense. We do the show Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Jump in the chatter's box, come hang out with us, drop a follow on us. We greatly appreciate that. Like I said, I mean, these guys, I appreciate you guys having us on, man. This has been cool. I know I told Mark, if you guys are ever available on Saturday nights, or if you just want to, you know, let me know what your schedule's like or whatever. We'd love to have you. We'd love to return the favor and have you guys on the show. But awesome. Saturday nights, we do the open door challenge, and literally the link is in the chatters box. All you have to do is hit it and pop up on camera with us. You know, we've had
It's like a magic trick.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, hey, you're in the box. Oh, now you're on the screen.
Yeah.
Abracadabra.
And the thing about that process too is you never know who you're going to get. So you might get
exactly.
You might get.
We've gotten wiener bombed a couple times.
What's that?
Yeah, we've gotten wiener bombed a couple times.
We didn't have to worry about that part.
Putting our wieners on the screen.
Yeah, so we have a new rule with the open door challenge. You have to have your camera on. We had 2 instances. We had 3 instances. Once we pulled up a guy who popped in, and as soon as he came up, with it, and we're quick on the button. But as soon as it come up, it's just like wiener. And it was like, what the hell, dudes? Yeah, so we dropped them. We had another instance where we were live. I was live, and a friend of ours from Scotland, she was with us. And this dude came up, and he was like, "What's up, guys?" And we were like, "Hey, what's going on?" Whatever. And then all of a sudden, his camera went down, and then it came back up, and it was like wiener. And then her and I just made fun of his small wiener for like 15 minutes. We had an instance.
He left the show because I'd have been like, "Yeah, I gotta go now."
Yeah. Oh, dude, we fucking roasted the hell out of him, and it was funny because there was a female there, and it was like, all right, I'm not just being a hater, saying he has a small wiener just to be a hater. Like she was like, it's not even that impressive, bro. Like, and then we had another instance because we do have some haters. Unfortunately, you're
gonna get that in any show that
you're not doing it right if you don't have haters, and we do have. Yeah. A handful of haters, and they don't matter, and they'll never be anything, and they're mad at us because we do an awesome show and they couldn't do what we do. There was a very targeted attack. They created an account with a friend of ours with his name, and when it popped up, it was like a screenshot that they put up there or whatever. And we thought it was him, and we brought him up, and we're like, "Hey, what's going on, dude? How's everything going?" And then all of a sudden, it went to some weird ass music with some screaming in the back, and it popped up, and it was like, "I hate N-word," and a bunch of other derogatory stuff written on it, and wieners, and it was just like that kind of pissed me off. Like the first 2 times, we just laughed it off, joked about it. But that pissed me off because it was a friend of ours, and they specifically used him to do that to get at us. So we have a new rule now. If you do come up, before we bring you up, you got to have your camera on, and you got to be an actual person. Last weekend, I think it was last weekend, there was some dude that you seen him down in, how the boxes are down on the bottom of the screen. Yep. Night, buddy. Love you. I'll see you in the morning. And he was literally laying on his bed, flogging his dolphin. And then he was like in the private chat because we started clowning him, and he was like, "Oh, come on, guys, bring me up. What's the matter? You don't like that?" And it's like there's a bunch of
chat roulette. This is not chat roulette.
It's like you're literally flogging your dolphin to a bunch of dudes, man. Like, no, we don't want to bring you up.
Does this excite you? Here's a butthole. So.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we've had a lot of fun with the open door challenge. Jarvis has been there several times. A few other people.
Hard to get rid of that guy, isn't
it? He's like an STD, but Jeff's the same way. I've tried for 20 some years. I've tried to get rid of
one of those you're trying to keep around. You're like, "Oh, I like this STD." It's cool.
Yeah. It's not so much that I like it. I've just gotten used to it. But we've had some other friends of ours that do podcasts or streaming stuff that have popped up and hung out with us, and then random people. I mean, I had a guy one Saturday night that I just randomly popped in, and we wound up having everybody left, and it was just him and I, and we actually wound up having a really good kind of serious conversation about different things that was going on in the world and everything like that. He's a young cat, so yeah, you just never know what's going to happen. But we've been having fun with it, and that organically happened because we had a dude.
What do you guys call it?
The open door challenge.
So you call it the open door challenge. Mark call it open mic night, and I call it the hot link.
Mm-hmm. And it all started because we had some random dude in the chatters box that was like, "Where's the link? Where's the link? Send me." And I was like, "Jeff, just drop the link. Let's bring this fool up." And it was like inbred Uncle Fester looking dude drinking freaking, I don't know, Keystone Light and freaking Smirnoff vodka, hammered out of his mind. And we just spent 45 minutes roasting him. And it was one of those
and
gold
he was down for it.
Yeah, and he was so drunk, he was just like, I want to tell everybody cheers. So that's where we say, we don't say cheers anymore. We say chairs on the show because of that guy. So, and that was where that open door challenge spawned from, because it was completely organic. It just happened. And I was like, this could actually be a lot of fun if we just on Saturday nights drop the link and see what happens. You know?
I tell Mark, I'm like, listen, if we don't have a guest, let's just do the open mic or hot link, whatever you want to call it, put it out there. And we put it on Facebook a couple of days ahead of time. I'm like, just fucking please, somebody click the link.
Yeah.
But you get a whole lot of crazy sometimes. It's happened to us. It's happened. So prepare yourself. And here's the thing, like, you'll have the guest and like the guest will be like, oh, I'm this person. And I'm like, all right, cool. What do you do? And then they're just like, no, I'm not frozen. I just
we've had guys like that where it's like,
fucking talk to me, bro. Like, say something.
What is your name? Are you downloading? Are you processing? What's going on? You know, is the dial-up not working? Are we still stuck on the
still on the dial-up?
You know, you never know, but that's part of it. And that's the great thing about what we do, is because we don't plan anything. So it's all organic and it all just is right off the top of our head. So, you know, if we bring some random goofball up, it's like, all right, let's shift gears and let's roll with this, you know.
And you get 15 minutes as long as you're funny. And
yep, exactly. Let's see how long we can keep this fool around.
All right, boys. Let's call it. You good?
All
Time
right.
of death. Time of death. 1:52 and 51 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, from us here at Talking Shit, I'm Brian.
I'm Mark.
I'm your podcast heavyweight champ of the world, Glick, from Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast.
Hell
Cheers, fuckers.
Have a good night.
All of us, have a good night.